Welcome back to Game Does Play Games, so you can watch games and practice game design, and I am wearing glasses.
Just putting it right out there, right away. I was gonna see, like, normally you'd be like, I'm not gonna mention anything for like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. I missed that. Should we restart? So, yeah, too many video games, and now I can't read things from afar. So here we are.
I mean,
reading things on the show has been a freaking nightmare. If you remember, like every time
I know. You and Eddie both. Eddie needs glasses too because every time we play Okami, he's like, red text, I can't see it. And I'm like, I'm the colorblind one, Eddie, and I can see this just fine.
I gotta go to sleep, you guys. Sleepy bye.
So last we left off, we challenged Thrash.
Yes, we did challenge Thrash.
We got a fire necklace.
We gave him a good thrashing.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's about July 2nd. Everybody starting it.
Look at her go.
That's how you do it. You eat while you're asleep.
It's like a trash compactor.
See, does speak.
Oh.
I'm just admiring your appetite. You're like me. I could eat a whole food truck and still be a stick.
What's a food truck?
It's funnier than you realize.
You're Mina Hart, aren't you? I heard about the Iron Stomach at the opening ceremony.
Oh, wow. No one in my village actually calls me that. Just my friend. I think the tournament committee tries to play everyone up. I'm nothing special.
Hey now, don't say that. Having a stomach made of iron is pretty incredible. Mine's made of paper. Plus, you're here, and only the best of the best are in Capital City.
Only the best of the best in Cap City.
Either way, I'm really excited for the opportunity.
How'd it go? Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got places to be, graves to dig up.
See ya!
Interesting.
Oh, here, catch.
Oh.
Huh. A metal trinket of some sort.
Why are my hands glowing?
Did he say
Did he just throw
grapes?
sparkles at me?
Now I won't ever get this off. Ziggy's bottle cap.
Yeah, Z's Bob Cap gives you +1 mana and +1 health.
Interesting. So that whole exchange was sort of. It was nice and yet out of place. It was a very casual conversation. It actually didn't need to be there, but it was still really enjoyable, and in a way that it helped, like, kind of. It gave us a moment with that character to give us a reason to care about him.
Absolutely, which is like that's like really awesome because there is a character or two that like later on I was talking to and I was like, I feel like I've missed something with him. But with Ziggy, they don't give you the option of missing that. They're like, we're gonna go straight up. You're like, you're gonna have this moment with him.
But I like that they made it so casual. I think that's an underutilized thing in a lot of dialogue-heavy games or even media in general, is that there's this idea that every single moment has to be super important and valuable, and that building relationships can't be around day-to-day interactions.
Right. It wasn't important that we needed to talk to him at that moment, and because that it felt a lot more organic. And
maybe that's why they gave us the artifact or the piece of the bottle cap, right? Was that that was their way of being like, this wasn't a waste of time, player. Here's an extra something to like really reinforce why you should like Ziggy. That's his name, right?
Ziggy.
He's the only character I know other than Thrash now.
Thrash's kids drew a picture of him. I didn't think
Do we get to see it?
Huge. No.
Oh. I also, this is another little thing, but I liked that they show Mina in like more casual, like non-chef clothes too.
I didn't even realize it the first time, but I realized it this time. I was like, oh yeah, she's not wearing her chef's thing, the whatever it's called, the double-breasted whatever thing.
Oh.
How'd you like the breakfast my wife made? It was amazing, thank you. Are you all right? It just had
a lot of love in it.
Yeah, made me feel at home. Aw. That's the only way one should cook for others. It's a growing boy like you needs to eat well, especially if you're dueling all day. I told you, never mind. Have a good day. Don't die out there. Don't waste my breakfast.
I could have fed that to somebody more important, you know. Whoa.
Rude.
So, an interesting thing to point out about the equipment is the thing that's giving us +1 mana and +1 health is a bottle cap.
Mm-hmm.
This plushie here gives us a plus health.
Like the other things that it's compared to, it seems so insubstantial. Like
it's not about it actually like giving you a real buff. It's not like I'm equipping, like for instance, this dragon necklace sets enemies on fire. It's not saying that the necklace is enchanted and thus it magically enchants my knives. It's like everything is a trinket. All the equipment, the combat equipment, is all like memento from a person, and so because of that, it like it makes your character stronger in different ways.
I wonder if it's sort of like the trinket is sort of a tangible component to something that Mina has learned through her interactions with them. I mean,
it could be.
There's something along those lines, right? Like, it makes sense that Thrash would give us the necklace that allows us to create fire because he's a fire guy. We just had a duel with him. Like, we were in a scenario where Mina presumably learned a lot from him.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, basically, that's I like how they themed the equipment is really what I'm getting at. It's all about, like, memories and mementos and things like that, which is very important to this game. There's, like, an underlying theme of, like, what's, like, family and friendship, etc., but how it's all narrative-driven, and it works out really well. Stop biting my toes.
Or I was wondering something. I couldn't stop thinking about it over breakfast.
What's that?
This seems like an awful lot of work for just one batch of formula, even if it's the ultimate. Will you have to make all these recipes and extract their essences every time?
Ah, that's a good question, my astute assistant. If I'm successful, the Brigade will assist me in reproducing ambrosia more efficiently.
Ambrosia?
Then chefs from all around can have a bottle to spray my flavor magnifier on anything.
Interesting. This won't be a shortcut to proper cooking, though, will it?
Never. Like any seasoning, it can be used properly, but it can also be used poorly. But enough chatter. Let's get to work!
That's why that arrow keeps showing up. It keeps switching back and forth between whether it thinks someone uses a controller or keyboard. Where's the mouse?
The mouse is all the way over there. We're not touching it.
Do you see it, though?
Yeah, that's weird. I can unplug it.
That's really annoying.
Should we pause real quick?
We're going to pause real quick. Use a specialist pot before.
Oh, these beauties are attuned to a particular element taste gem. You need to only match 2 gems of that color to promote. However, the taste gems will not promote. Give it a try. Oh, the other taste gems.
However, the taste gems will not promote. But you just said.
I don't understand.
But you just said.
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
Yup.
That the level 2s also only take 2.
And the level 3s are always just level 3s.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's intense, though. Well, no, you can combine those 2, right?
Nope, they're level 3s.
Oh, they are level 3s.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, right. I mean, that makes sense. Dang. Right. Dang. Well, that also makes a lot more sense why you would have multiple pots now.
And this is where things start to get complicated. Start to. Did you use any bony ingredients?
Not often. There aren't a lot of big monsters around our village.
In that case, take care with this dish. Line up 3 bones and they'll turn into delicious rainbow gems.
I was going to say, those look like bones. And I guess they are bones. Well done, art direction, I guess. Whoa!
Rainbow gems can finish any combination.
Oh, I didn't realize that's a rainbow.
Yeah, that's why. Call them rainbow gems.
I see. It all makes sense now. Is there any kind of system that benefits the player if they like?
I guess I messed up.
Womp womp. Is there any kind of system that benefits the player if you like rack up a bunch of combos?
Is there any system that benefits the player if you rack up a bunch of combos?
So like if you have a chain reaction.
Yeah, actually it's a mechanic that comes in later.
Oh.
Now see, that's actually something we'll have to look at in a second because I could have sworn not as good. Okay. Then do this, and then bam, and then Kapalza. All right. So there is a pot later on that you'll get that will it says that enhances your combo multiplier, but when looking at it, I was like, did that mechanic even exist before I got the pot? So it's a little strange like that. It's like an advanced mechanic, but it's not something that you really realize was an option until they boast about it being a better option.
From what it seems, the game does seem to kind of hide some mechanics until you are ready for them. And we saw that with breaking the egg to make the sauce.
Oh, right, yeah, with the sauces.
So I think if that's consistent throughout the entire experience, then that makes sense. I think there's sort of no harm in that. It might be frustrating to players that come back the second time around because, you obviously already know that as the player that these things exist.
Right, but we're going to have to go through the... Oh,
and I don't know if there is any form of New Game Plus in this game. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that you'd get a ton out of other than making different choices on who you challenge.
So there is I have officially beat the game.
Ooh.
And I can tell you I have not noticed a New Game Plus.
Yeah, I don't know if it would need it. But in that case, it would be kind of frustrating not being able to use more advanced mechanics if you already are aware of them.
Yes.
I guess it might make some of the earlier parts of the game too easy if you know how to use it, but that's the benefit of, getting good.
Yeah, that's why I felt like when I finished it, I was like, I want more, which is a good thing, right? If you finish the game and you're like, my only complaint about the game is that I wanted more.
As a buddy of mine used to say that I worked with on a few projects, that's always a good thing is to leave your players wanting more, which I don't totally agree with. I think that there is a point of just right. And he operated under the philosophy is that it's always better to have less content and leave them wanting more than to try to make more stuff. But that's in the context of sacrificing quality on the other stuff.
I was about to say, if
you don't want
throwing content at them for the sake of filling.
Yeah.
So I guess that that is a good counter to what he was saying before, because that's what I feel like ultimately this game comes from is I loved it. By the time it was over, I was like, I wish there was more, but they made sure they were polished with what they had at the time.
And I guess that sort of sets that groundwork of if there's enough people that do want more, then that sort of becomes their justification for things like DLC or, Battle Chef Brigade 2 or, whatever they might want to do. In fact, that could just open the door for their next game, whether or not it uses the same mechanics,
right. I really think that there's going to be DLC. I feel it. I feel hardcore that there's going to be DLC.
I mean, do you feel that way because it sort of sets it up to allow that?
There's a few things. So, you get to play as two characters in this game. You don't just play as her. You pick up another character. When you go to play the online cooking battles or whatever the case is, you get to choose between the two characters, but there's obviously more room for other characters to be playable. So they've set up the UI ahead of time being like, there will be more.
I mean, that makes sense, right? If you were to make DLC for this game, it only makes sense that you would kind of do it as a new character, because I assume at the very least Mina's narrative is pretty much wrapped up. I mean, I guess maybe they could always add more onto Mina's story too, but light on her feet. You get that just from killing things in the air.
Yeah.
This is a cool environment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess we've been so used to just the one environment that you even got to see the other ones. And I think this is the first time you do see that environment.
Ooh. So Does it tend to be like certain types of enemies are in certain regions or environments?
Yep.
Does it often feel like there's a pretty significant difference between like how they behave? So like, for example, that giant dude that spits out spikes, like, do you see another enemy in a different area that's basically the same thing?
Not in the least. I mean, for the most part, a lot of creatures will have the, like, I'm gonna move at you and do, like, a basic, like, melee attack, but for the most part, they all have a different way of going about that. That is a very unique creature, and they make a point about that.
Oh.
But, like, in one of the, if it's ever the main headliner of the dish, they'll talk about it, and like, oh, that's pretty fun.
That makes sense.
Those little furry, like, they look like sheep, but dangerous sheep, like, they, like, pop out of a specific area and then launch at you. The birds will fly off to one side of the screen and then swoop at you, and they totally like, even though you know it's coming, they get you all the time.
I'm sorry, instructor. That sounds like something Kieran would know. She's usually around Belkior's workshop.
The cat geezer. I'm looking for headache relief, not a headache giver.
Harsh.
Burn.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for this episode.
Wow, really?
Yeah, goes by quick when you're having fun.
Shit. Okay, well, then the next episode we'll do this puzzle, and then we'll facing off against somebody else.
Cool. Question of the day, what are some of the strongest dialogue choices that they've made so far in the game? And this is only, like the first 2 hours of the experience, roughly? And I feel like there's already a pretty good amount to kind of pick from. Yeah,
and I realize you're actually missing a little bit, because as you're talking, I'm just kind of like giving them enough time to read it and scrolling through, so
I'm kind of
seeing a little more than you are, actually.
Yeah, I'm scanning a little bit of it, but, you know, I get the gist.
Well, till next time. See you.
Bye.